Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take another look here at Polkadot, see what's going on. It looks like we're trying to break free from this little descending type of trend, and more importantly, the Ichimoku cloud, which typically runs concurrent in a lot of ways with simple moving averages. We'll look at that here in a minute. This bullish rectangle has been tentatively invalidated. Unfortunately, this is one of the only trades that we took this month that hasn't really played out for us. We did hit a small stop loss there, about 26%, but again, offset that as well. Here's that little guy there, Polkadot 26, but we offset it with a short from Bitcoin at what, 98,000 and 91.5, and of course a Tau long at 56% as well. We do have an open low leverage, high risk trade with SUI, of course, but everything you do with that coin is high risk. But either way you look at it here, what we're going to focus on is, again, we're going to leave these support and resistances levels here because they are still relevant in the big picture. But we'll have to update our fib levels perhaps and just kind of see where we're at here. We're going to go from top to bottom and effectively see how much further higher we could go here with this push. Future reference too, I also like to look at liquidation levels. So we're going to double check that here and see. I forget if I have a Polkadot one here. No, I do not. Let's get this pulled up here. So what we like to look at for liquidation is pretty simple, folks. It's really just understanding backend data. This is not something you can see on the charts, but it is relevant and still public information. You get this on CoinGlass if you want. It's just not quite as detailed. But the truth is, looking at this is helpful just so we can get kind of perspective on the overall sentiment in the back end of like where the price action is moving. So on the left-hand side, we got the last 12 hours. This tells us that 8.5, basically 850, is that massive concentration of liquidation. In other words, that's the local high, I think, if you exclude like previous candle wicks. And that's just kind of tells us a lot of people are hedged right there with their shorts. Okay. Now, with that being closer to the price action than this 810 mark, the likelihood of sweeping 850 to 860 makes a lot more sense at this point. Okay. In fact, those were some of the profit targets from our previous trade because we were trying to buy that lower range of that bullish rectangle, which didn't play out when Bitcoin ran towards 90.5. Again, that happens, folks. It's completely fine. I like to try to normalize it for people and just understand that stop losses are a very natural part of trading. In fact, if we hadn't had that stop loss, we probably could have seen a lot worse price action, and we could have, in fact, lost a lot more. So again, risk tolerance, always utilize that. It's very important. Bigger picture, we can see there's kind of a big spread here in liquidation. In fact, why don't we just take a look at the last 7 days rather, and double check a couple things here and see. Yeah, we can see 850 upwards about 870, still kind of concurrent with that smaller time frame. We look here, we can see liquidation delta is still more short bias, so folks are still trying to short this coin. I'm sure once we hit that 850, sweep that level of liquidation, people are going to change their tune a little bit, but that is essentially where we're at right now. When we take a look here at open interest, we can kind of recognize that the heavier concentration is probably a little easier to see here, is 42 cents as well as 44.5. No, correction, this is the Dogecoin. Apologize, this is from my last one. I forgot to update here. Let's do this. And let's run that again and just kind of see here. Open interest is looking like it's right around the $9 mark here for Polkadot. So $9 upwards of $9.75. In other words, this is just the area that people are the most, the heaviest on their positions. Okay, and that tells us that we're below that resistance. Therefore, the $9 range will probably work as a resistance level. We can see this reflected here. It's at 0.5 fib level, really common area of retracement. So the price does end up running up here. It would make sense for it to retrace a little bit before it continues higher. That's generally how things are supposed to work. Now, does it always work out the way that you want it to or the way that it should? The short answer is no. Oftentimes, it will make you look like a complete buffoon. And one day you think you got it, the next day you don't, right? So that's just trading and how it goes. You got to take it in stride. But the truth is what we do here just increases our odds of success, but it's never a perfect or it's never like it's never going to work out perfectly. I guess that's the best way to describe it. People are always looking for that best entry that, I'm a surgeon with my entry, surgical entries and all these funny things. And you're just never going to find it. The truth is you just got to kind of address whatever trend is happening and work in the direction of the trend. That's really it. So identifying trends is a really, really big part of being a good trader. Anyways, that's what we're going to try to look at here. Let's recognize here we're over 70 on the RSI, still a good trend, right? That basically implies if you have a long position open, you don't really consider selling. Stochastic is pulling back, letting us know we have a slight shift in momentum, but that happens after you come up so hard and so fast like we did recently. Just know we got a lot of value down below $6 to $7. I don't think we're going to see that just yet. But if we do end up losing this local support range at $7.50 to $8 as a rough estimate, then we may, in fact, see something along those lines. Okay. Anyways, a conversation for another day. But anytime a coin ranks up like this, there's still a larger propensity for those areas to be retested at some point, because fair value gaps do have a tendency of being filled at some time or another. Anyways, 4-hour time frame, we're under the 20-day SMA here still. I mean, even though we're kind of testing it and tentatively above it, until we close soundly above it, so there's no reason to consider it's broken. So the concept here is that when you're below the 20-day SMA, you don't just blindly take longs. Again, when we took our long position, it was like right here, and the price broke down, and that's just kind of how it works out sometimes. But at this point here, MACD is trying to converge, stochastic swinging up. We're over 50 on the RSI. There's a lot of reasons here as to why Polkadot should continue higher. It's also broken free from its local tentative resistance. In other words, that previous support at 820 should have worked as a resistance here. And since Bitcoin continued higher, it broke and continued upwards. It didn't break down. So a lot of times you got to give previous resistances or previous supports a chance to act as a resistance, which it didn't. Therefore, it should likely work as a new support. So it really just reinforces the fact that Polkadot should continue higher in the overall sense now that we've broken through that. But we're still not over that key threshold, so I'm not super convinced here. The main reason why I'm not convinced is just because the Ichimoku cloud here is a good confirming factor for us. Being below the cloud, it's working as a resistance level. Until we close above it, there's no reason to consider a long. So hypothetically, 24 hours from now, the price goes sideways from here. That's probably a good consideration for a long, because we'd be in a nice little smaller time frame bullish rectangle, and the price action would be more likely to break up after consolidating above that previous resistance turn support. Okay, so we're in decent shape right now for Polkadot. Just know that we're not in like this full on, like we want to go balls to the wall long with all of our coins because we broke through a tentative resistance. That's just not how it works. When you break a resistance, you should always wait for consolidation in that area first before you take a long to ensure that you're on the right side of the tracks there officially. And right now, it's a little premature. In Bitcoin, pretty much every coin right now is getting a lot of false positives, letting us know that we're trending correctly. We're just not there yet. All right. Anyways, take that how you will. If you're a breakout trader, then go for it, But just so you know, statistically, breakout traders are the least successful traders. They've had their time in the sun or the light, whatever analogy you want to insert here, recently because, of course, everything's breaking out. But as soon as the trend discontinues, they start having a lot of trouble. And just be careful with people telling you to go long right now. It's not truly a buy signal just yet. Again, based on some conservative trading guy online, right? Those are my thoughts. Am I perfect? No, but we do have a pretty high success rate. This month we're only averaging 75%, but typically 80 to 85% is the average. So anyways, less is more, folks. I would rather take less consistent trades than a lot of unsuccessful trades. Just makes sense, right? Okay, be sure you check out Bitunix, link down below. Phenomenal exchange, folks. No KYC or VPN, 60K prize pool this month. Top 20 traders are eligible. Next month, there's a huge deposit bonus, so wait to go ahead and deposit funds until I send out that update. And then last but not least, too, I've got Twitter, Telegram, and Discord where I provide my playout charts and just heads up on coins that I'm planning to cover. Future reference, that's all there. Oh, very last thing, too, a lot of new community members coming over. Make sure you read through my trade alerts. I provide you with alerts on trades that I'm planning to take trades with. And obviously, we got our signals, too, but this is just kind of a general structure of what I'm leaning towards. I hope you found benefit. Thanks again for your time. Look forward to seeing you next one. Take care.